How you doing, everyone? I want to know your opinion instead of assuming that I know what your opinion is. I'm going to have a heart to heart with you guys in this video about things that truly deeply concern me, that rips my heart out, that is mentally exhausting. And I have to carry it around every day. When I think in retrospect of what was popular when I was growing up, as far as music, what did I watch? What was I drawn to? Who are my role models? What was my childhood like? My childhood is something that I really try to avoid, but it's a part of my childhood I want to talk about. That is how desensitized I was growing up as a black male. When I was younger, this is what I thought a man was. A man to me, when I was younger, he was a player. He was a drug dealer. He was a gangbanger. He was a killer. A pimp. A rapper. Someone that everyone feared. Someone who rebelled against the system. Someone who hated cops. A man who personified this gangster lifestyle. A man who had a quick temper, quick to fight, quick to shoot, quick to call a woman out of her name. When I was growing up, that is honestly, that's what I thought. That is what a man was. I was desensitized. The gangster rap, that I was exposed to at a young age. Born in Chicago, leaving Chicago when I was in third grade, but even before I moved from Chicago, saw a lot of fights, a lot of shooting at night. I couldn't sleep at night. Just, I didn't feel safe at all. You hear people screaming and yelling at each other, and crackheads, people drunk, and prostitutes on a corner. One of my most traumatic experiences that I had is when my older cousin had a gun pointed right in his face, and I was completely unaware of it as a kid, and I noticed it as I got closer, and I just saw this guy holding his gun in front of my older cousin's face, and I can say then that's when I truly felt like I wasn't safe. But even leaving from Chicago and moving to Minneapolis, 91, it was a war zone. Minneapolis was worse than living in Chicago. And in Chicago, I remember I had to walk really far just to go to school, my brother and I. And we had to fight. Almost every day coming home from school. Or going to school. Either or. Sometimes you had to fight going to school and have to fight coming home from school. But with us having a change of scenery, being in Minnesota, I thought everything would be better. The school that I went to was Ramsey. Yes, that was a lot better. And this is when the first time I actually saw a white person for the first time in my life. It was so new. It was a culture shock for me. It was something that was so new. But where we lived on 5th, 34th and 5th, it was a war zone, and kids were being killed, teenagers, adults, all over gangs. My father has never been present in my life. The only memories I have of my father is him snorting cocaine in the projects back in Chicago. And I used to go and see him. That's it. Other than that, I haven't seen my father. I've spoken to him probably like once or twice, but it's just not right. Having a lot of friends that I was becoming close to get killed and get jumped on, and it caused a lot of anger, and I had a lot of anger in my life already. There was a lot of emotional, physical, and mental abuse at home. And dealing with my friends being killed and having to fight because my temper was getting worse. My brother and I started to dislike each other, but we always had each other's backs, but we started to dislike each other because he joined a different gang and I joined a different gang, and I had no one to run to for a very long time, and gangster music and the environment that I was subjected to. I was starting to become a product of my environment. All I can remember is just getting more pissed off and more pissed off and more pissed off. 5th grade is when I had a gun put to my head for the first time. Growing up in a new environment outside of the home, I felt like I was a foreigner, and the only thing I could turn to was just gangster rap. That's where I found my identity in gangster rap, looking up to the drug dealers, looking up to the gang bangers, idolizing gang bangers. Just the wrong thing. Of course, that led to me getting deeper into gangs. Tempers getting a lot worse, and a lot more fighting at school, in the streets, at home with my brother. But my mom always tried to hold it together. She did the best that she could. She definitely did. The reason why I'm saying all this, or why I'm sharing all this, is because I can understand how it feels to grow up with no outlet, no positive outlook on life, to feel like you're hopeless, and any dream that you have is just easily diminished by your ugly reality. I'm too familiar with that. I know what it's like, and I know how it feels. It's torture, it's agonizing, it's crippling. You're crippled by fear. You're too afraid to exert yourself because you feel that all of it would be in vain. So you hold on to this safety zone, this safety net, or this life raft that's floating nowhere and is stagnant. The water is just stagnant, and it stinks and it reeks, and that is indicative of your life and how you feel on the inside, because everything you see is just ugly. Everything you see is just ugly at home, the streets, at school. You can't get away. I know how it feels to grow up with your back against the wall. I know how it feels to have your life threatened. I know how it feels to be shot at. I know how it feels to... Some things I can't share, but I just know how it feels to be counted out. To feel like society and the entire world is against you. I know how it feels. You know who I'm really mad at? I was mad at myself for a very long time. But I'm really mad at these fake gangster rappers. They're nothing but actors. I thought that idolizing these people, trying to follow behind them, was the true definition of a man. And if I saw anything contrary of that, I thought it was weak and pathetic and was just wrong, when it's actually the other way around. I thought it was weak for a man to respect his woman. I thought it was weak for a man to love his woman. I thought it was weak if you weren't exerting your dominance over a woman. All trying to live up to this image. I'm mad at the black fathers who are in prison, who could have made different decisions. I'm mad at my father for not being there to show me the right way. I'm still mad about that. I'm pissed off every day when I have to, or when I go on the news or I read news articles and it's black males killing more black males than there's gangster rap, and all they're talking about is killing more black males and telling black males how you're broke, how you're poor, how you're not a man because you're not having sex with these type of women, how they would have sex with your women, how they'll take your girl from you, and how he'll shoot you in the face, and how to be and to be a man you have to have your paper. That's what pisses me off. And it wow, it causes this so much emotion to stir within inside of me that I I have this physiological reaction to it. It's like it becomes visceral for me when I think about these things. And I don't like the facts that most of the people who are in prison are black males. That blacks have the lowest scores when it comes to academics, the lowest graduation rate, a higher chance of being abused at a young age and being killed before they're 20 years old. I know I was one of them. I lived my life as if that day was the only day I had. There was nothing else that I could even conjure up for the future. I lived day by day, moment by moment, because that is how limited my view or my perceptual filters on life were. Having all of these negative statistics and these ugly truths that I have to face every day, I'm making my personal battle to fight every day to put an end to that vicious cycle with myself, and it will not continue in my life. I made that decision a long time ago when I decided to grow up, take responsibility for my actions, get over my hurt, get over my trauma, accept the fact that I do have PTSD, accept the fact that I was emotionally abused, physically abused, And I have a lot of scars that are being healed. And I accept the fact that I have an ugly past because of unresolved issues and unresolved trauma. So when I say I know how it feels to grow up extremely poor, I do. But I also know how it feels to overcome all adversity of life. And the way that you do that is that you become aware of your surroundings and your reality and accept it for what it is and make the conscious decision to change it. The white man does not hold you down. That's something that I had to grow up with. Blame the white man. I woke up one day because enough was enough. I was sick and tired of what I saw, how I felt, the way that I used to dress, the way that I treated people. I didn't love myself, so how could I love anyone else? I was a ticking time bomb. But when I decided to grow up, and I said I wanted to be a real man, life changed for me drastically. Even though at the age of 20, I almost went to prison for an extremely long time. That was my catalyst to have, or I should say that was a catalyst that caused me to have a paradigm shift that changed my life for the best. When I got locked up and I was facing all those years, I had all these felonies. I thought my life was over. But you know what? The people I sold drugs with, the people I did dirt with, the people I fought with, none of them, not even one, came to see me. No one came to visit me when I was locked up. And I knew right there and then that, you know what, I can't throw my life away like everyone else. I refused to do that. And that's when I started to change my mental process. Had to change it. I would rather be dead than to be in prison. Taking responsibility for my life was the hardest thing I ever had to do at the age of 20 years old. I know a lot of you might be shocked by hearing my testimony, this part of my testimony, but I have nothing to be ashamed of. Not anymore. Because I love who I am today. I do. I honestly do. I have the courage to let the whole world know me, what's inside. how I was and who I am today. Because of what I did when I was 20 years old, it transformed my life for the best. It was a slow transition, but I got better. I stopped selling drugs. I left gangs alone. I replaced my network of friends. Decided I was going to go to college. I was 21 years old when I became certified as a bartender, but I never got a job doing that. So I started working for like Amway and all that kind of stuff, and Nu Skin and all this kind of stuff. And I've always had an entrepreneur spirit, or a mindset, as I should say. But I was the first one in my family to graduate from high school. First one to go to college in my immediate family. Well, actually, my mom had her own little business, so I was going to say first one to have my own business. You know, growing up over the years, you guys, I heard a lot of girls, because of my cheating and my drinking. Good girls. I was a dog. I was a little boy. I was a grown man, but I was a boy in my mind. I'm strong enough to share all this today because I'm not afraid of being judged. I'm not. But I do want to say this, is that to pick up where I left off, to get to my point, this gangster rap, the black culture, they can call me a sellout, they can call me an Uncle Tom, you can call me a house nigga, you can call me a field negro, you can call me whatever you want to call me. But all I know is this: blacks are killing blacks. The biggest threat to me is not a white man, it's not a Muslim, it's another black. Look at our communities. We need a complete makeover. This gangster rap trash, the way that we dress, sagging our pants, wearing skinny jeans, gold in the mouth, and still have the nerve to have your boxers showing and you're wearing skinny jeans? The swag, all concerned with just getting money and having sex with women. It's like the black race does not have a conscience. It's like the conscience has been completely removed, like it has been slowly dissected. And I know this might piss a lot of you people off, but I don't care, because I feel that it is the truth. The black race needs to step up, and it starts with the black man accepting the truth. By denying the truth, you can never ever change the ugly truth. I accepted that ugly truth when I was 20 years old. And because of who I am today, is because of that truth that I had to accept. And I have to accept these ugly facts every day. And live with it. And live with stereotypes. I've been called the N-word so many times. But you know what's really appalling to me? Is that I've been called the N-word more by my own people. Just because I don't I'm not programmed, or I'm no longer on that mental plantation anymore. I'm not ashamed of who I am. The only way you will get me to be ashamed of myself is if I rejected everything that I have learned. I have learned what a true man is, what a true man acts like, and what a real man thinks about, and what a real man accepts. And that's the ugly truth. Because by accepting the truth, it gives you the power to change it. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to laugh at this, and I know a lot of people are probably going to be shocked. But to the ones who are going to laugh at this and say, oh man, this nigga got soft, or this dude, he's a sellout. I want you to actually take a look at your life. Do you smoke weed? Are you in a gang? Are you doing something productive with your life? Do you treat your girlfriend with respect? Do you treat your mom with respect? Do you even carry yourself with respect? What are you planning on doing in the future with your life? Do you have kids and no job? Do you live with your baby mother? Are you self-reliant? Are you quicker to pick up a gun over a book? Do you wear your pants on your waist? Do you take responsibility for your own life and stop blaming everybody else? Do you? Because I think that if you see this video and you undermine what I have shared and what I'm telling you, the gold nuggets, you reject the gold nuggets that I'm tossing out to you, you are doomed to repeat that vicious cycle that you have grown up in and that you are living in right now to this moment. Now, I'm not, for the record, I just want to say this. This is not primarily now, when I'm talking about the upbringing, it's not just a black issue anymore. This is all across the board. Broken homes. Kids have nowhere to turn to. No one to look up to. No positive role models because it is gangster rap. If you think what I'm saying to you is a joke and you're not going to take it serious, or you're just going to write me off as some square, I wish the best for you. I really do. I really do wish the best for you. But you have the power to end that vicious cycle. You have the power to do whatever you need to do. And I'm not talking about going out selling drugs, picking up a gun like I used to do. What I'm talking about by the power is that you have the power to do what you have to do to get away from those friends of yours, that family of yours, and get away if you have to find yourself, to have a better life. If you look around and you don't like what you see, and you look inside of yourself and you don't like what you see, I'm telling you, you have the power to change it. And the first way to kickstart that change is by to accept your reality. Stop making excuses for it. Accept it for what it actually is, too. Don't be in denial. And when you ask yourself, are you truly, really happy? Are you satisfied? Are you content? And if you can't even be real with yourself, there's a problem right there. And you're going to be stuck in that phase. You're not going to transition. But if you're able to do a true inventory of yourself, and you can accept your reality, you can accept who you are, and you know what you need to change, and you know what your weaknesses and your strengths are, and you are willing to do whatever it takes to change yourself, to give yourself a brighter future, do it. Friends, family can wait. You cannot help anyone until you have helped yourself first to become a healthy individual. This gangster rap is crap. Sagging your pants, gang banging, selling drugs, cheating on women, having a ton of baby mamas. And I'm not directing this towards the women. This is directed mostly towards the man, because I believe we are the head. And if we're out of place, the rest of the body is out of place. And that is something that has plagued the black community. Now it's plaguing all communities in the United States. Step up and do the right thing. That is what makes a man. It's when you do the right thing, even when it's not popular. I dare you to be uncommon. I am a Christian black Republican, and I am proud of it. Proud of it. Anyway, have a great day.